live at 4.
We are taking you live over the Seattle waterfront from Drone 7. Celebrations underway as Pier 58 is back open for the first time in 5 years. And boy, did it get a facelift. Thank you so much for staying with us. I'm Monique Minglavin.
And I'm Gary Horker. We are just thrilled to be here because we are part of city history right now. Pier 58 opened up just a little while ago, and Monique, it's mobbed. They took up the chain link fence, and people just started streaming in here organically because it connects people with the city and the entire waterfront. This pier has been years and years in the making. After the pier collapsed in 2020, crews have been working to transform this space into some place where everyone of every age can visit.
We really designed this one for the kids and the parents. We heard a lot of input from people and feedback about the desire to have a playground and a play space on our waterfront, and that's exactly what we provided here.
Now, beyond the 25-foot tall playground, which really sticks out from almost anywhere you look,
yes,
and the 18-foot-long slide, which I will test drive in a few minutes, there is also an elevated lawn with more than 400 native plants. Put a lot of thought into this. There's places for picnics, seating for anyone and everyone to enjoy, whether you're off a cruise ship or you just live here. Designers want to emphasize, though, it's not just for tourists from out of town. They really want locals to enjoy this space, too.
Come down and keep on coming down. Now, Pier 58 is really just one piece of a large puzzle, which is the entire beautiful waterfront park. It's also next to major attractions, the Great Wheel, the Seattle Aquarium. There have been massive renovations over the past 15 years to get the waterfront to where it is right this very moment. Now, just last summer, the aquarium opened its Ocean Pavilion expansion around the corner from us. We were live then as well. Beautiful building in addition.
Yeah, the city planners really knew what they were doing here. This was built with partnerships between taxpayers and private donors. And this building behind us is all about how to preserve the ocean's future. But it was a long time before the Seattle Aquarium actually had its act together. It's awesome. But before that, this city had a strange relationship with sea life. To build the Ocean Pavilion to last for generations, millions of pounds and miles of rebar lining the reef habitat is way beyond what you'd find in tall skyscrapers.
History is literally going up in front of our eyes.
But Seattle historian Felix Bennell reminds us, long before the real Seattle Aquarium was ever a concept to teach conservation, profiteers lured tourists here to Seattle, and they used sea life to make a fast buck. In the mid-1930s, a post-Civil War era clipper ship was a floating museum where for a dime you were promised a small display of seeing sea life from Puget Sound. Then there was the Frozen Fish Museum, 2,000 fish frozen solid. Somehow this oddball attraction stayed open for 30 years.
Ivor Hagelin, famous for his clam chowder and fish and chips, the first thing Ivor did was put in an aquarium.
Long before Seattle showman Ivor Hagelin ever sold a single cup of chowder, his big business idea was what he called an aquarium on the waterfront.
Ivor was inviting people to look at like octopuses in a fish tank, and those people he sold fish and chips and chowder to. The fish and chips and chowder came second. First was the aquarium, and it morphed into a business selling fish and chips.
Ivor charged a nickel to show sea life, but Felix said it was a sideshow.
Ivor would do things like take a baby seal and put it in a baby carriage and push it around the city to try to generate publicity for his business.
In 1962, when the World's Fair attracted millions of visitors, businessman Ted Griffin cashed in by opening a for-profit marine aquarium, which took a dark dive in 1965.
Orca, a killer whale, is captured by mistake up off Vancouver Island. Gets caught in some fishermen's nets. Griffin buys it, builds a floating pen, tows it all the way back to Seattle. TV stations are doing remote shots from up on Strait of Juan de Fuca to try to get footage of this whale coming to town because no one had ever successfully had a whale in captivity.
They named him Namu. They charged people to watch him caged in a pen in the waterfront. Hollywood filmmakers quickly moved in and made a movie starring Namu as a character. People protested, demanding Namu's freedom.
Unfortunately, before that movie can open to the public, Namu has died of a bacterial infection.
An infection reportedly caused by raw sewage, which was, at the time, polluting Elliott Bay. Having learned from all those dark decisions, Seattle city leaders offered a brand new, better way. Voters approved a 1968 tax to build a real nonprofit aquarium, building a new relationship between Seattle and the sea for the next 100 years.
There was a very strong ethic here in the 50s and 60s and 70s, even into the 80s, to invest money in things that people would benefit from for decades to come. And the aquarium fits right into that mix.
Now, Felix says this new ocean pavilion shows how a city can transform an attitude while transforming a waterfront and educating millions of people on the power of preservation instead of profit.
Cities that don't change are the ones that you forget about.
You talk about renewal. Not only is that space renewed, the space behind us, that jellyfish, that's crawling with kids. They're like ants. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to get up there. In 15 minutes, we're going to come back and give you the kids' review of that structure.
I think we have an idea of what it's going to be. For right now, though, we'll send it back to Jason Sloss.
We can't wait to see you back there too, Gary. So get ready for that. All right, thank you so much. Information and history.